Hello, this is Captain Unusual, and this is an instructional guide on how to make the most of your HyVee Fuel Saver card. HyVee and Casey's, two Midwestern companies that have become a very visible part of the Midwestern landscape, have teamed together and have been teamed together for the last few years to uh, basically give you discounts on gas if you buy Hy-Vee products. And if you're smart about this, and uh, I actually never intended to make this video. The thought of making this video never occurred to me, but I made it at the encouragement of the Deviant Historian because he pointed out to me. I thought of all. I considered all of this stuff, all of these tips, as fairly obvious. Kind of just common sense that anyone would do. But the deviant historian pointed out to me, and it's a mistake that I think that a lot of people make, and I certainly made it. We often think that everybody thinks the same way as we do, that everybody is, dare I say, as smart as you are, and it just never occurred to me that some people may not have the
I'd
ability.
say competencies, sort of like certain people have certain competencies and knowledges and backgrounds in certain areas. And I really just never used coupons much before. I was not really versed in that. And when I used this, I didn't do so great on the field saver side. So we're going to have the pro take the lead here.
If you take a systematic approach to anything, you'll almost always succeed at it. The really the key to success is being systematic, I would say, and you can do that with the Hy-Vee fuel saver. And I'm going to give you just a few simple rules that I use that really are common sense, but they're the kind of things that not everybody would think about. Number one rule, and I really can't stress this enough. Um, when you buy things at Hy-Vee with the intention of maximizing your fuel saver points, um, do not buy anything that you would not normally buy. Don't go out of your way to buy things just to get a certain amount of fuel saver points or cents off. Do not do that. Uh, Limit your purchases to things that you were going to that you would have bought anyway, even if the fuel saver card or if the fuel saver points were not a factor. So, for example, now there are times when I kind of bend this rule a little bit, and I will buy something that I don't always buy to get over the certain benchmark. Like, for example, just today, or I guess technically yesterday, they had a special on. It was December 2nd. For every $20 you buy, you get 12 cents off per gallon on your fuel saver. Now, and that means that 40 would be 24 cents off, and so on. What you do is if you're at a point where you're like almost to 20, and you need to buy one other thing. Number one, it's good to have that thing be not too much, like just the right amount to get you over the line. And it has to be, the total has to, like, for example, to get at least 20, it has to be before taxes. So if your total is 2108 or something like that, but that's only after the sales tax, and if you take away the sales tax, it's under 20, then that's not good enough. It has to be at least $20 without pre-sales tax. So every once in a while, you may find yourself wanting to buy something to get you over that mark. Um, or if you're at say if you're at $36 or $32 and you need to get to 40, you might want to get something. If you're over 40, uh, it's gonna take a while for you. It's gonna take a lot of purchases to get you to 60, or a lot of so you don't want to. you may actually want to take away some items instead of like going all the way to 60. You don't want to buy items just to get to a certain mark, especially if you've already reached a previous mark. So you want to you really want to be careful because um, let's face it, even though the fuel saver card is an opportunity to save money, um, HyVee and Casey's created this thing with the notion that it was going to lead to some extra purchases. That some people were going to get really enthusiastic about it and buy a lot more shit than they otherwise would buy just to get the points. And when you do that, you're not you're not really saving any money. If anything, in some cases, I think some people are spending more money than they normally would and not saving. So I know I've kind of run this rule into the ground, but it really is rule number one. Uh, do not buy anything that you wouldn't normally buy. I mean, sometimes just to kind of get to a certain mark, I'll buy like cashews or a cheesecake, but those are things that I buy anyway. I may not buy them every time I go to HyVee, but I buy them, you know, I buy them occasionally, and I make sure to, you know, if I'm going to buy those things on a fuel saver day or on a day where there's a fuel saver promotion, I really need to stop and think and really kind of collude with myself and ask myself, am I really, you know, am I do I really want this or am I only buying it to get to a certain benchmark? And so you just got to be careful about that. It's a rule that sometimes I bend very slightly, but I never break. Never buy anything that you wouldn't buy under normal circumstances.
Two things that are, I guess, actually three things that I've chimed in real quick. One, stockpiling stuff. You could always buy two or three of something that you'd already want to buy, so that can get you there, and then that saves you from having to go again.
Yes, and that brings me to another rule that I was this was going to be rule number three, but that is a good point. You can stockpile, but you don't want to stockpile too much. I did this once, not to any serious degree, because obviously, you know, when you stockpile, you can always use it eventually. But uh, I have this. There's a certain face wash that I buy. It's really good stuff. It's the stuff with the microbeads. If you wash your face, it really. If you have any kind of problem with acne, you wash your face with this stuff, and it really works. Like it reduces acne by like 90%. Um, I bought. I actually have three of those in my medicine cabinet right now. And you see that stuff. One bottle of that stuff lasts quite a while, like at least probably a couple of months. And so you don't want to buy an item. You don't want to stockpile on an item where you're buying more of that item than you're going to use, where you're accumulating it more than you're going to use. So you have to be careful about that. You can certainly stockpile a little bit if it's something that you use a lot of. I use a lot of vinegar. That's another example. And so sometimes and vinegar is also pretty cheap. So if I need to get over that benchmark, and you know, if I'm at like, you know, 18 and I need to get over 20, uh, a gallon of vinegar is like $3, and that works perfectly. So sometimes I'll do that, and I use vinegar much faster than I use that face wash. So it's kind of a better thing to buy on a regular basis. But even vinegar, I'm not exactly going through a gallon of it a day or even a gallon of it a week. So you want to be careful. You can't really hurt yourself too bad, other than maybe just kind of running out of space in your house. But I would recommend not stockpiling on stuff faster than you use it up, unless you're like a prepper or something like that, and that's your lifestyle. Then go for it. But I'm not really, you know, that's not really my goal. My goal is to just kind of save money. So that's what I do. So that's another rule, and I'm glad the deviant historian mentioned that. Uh, let's see, what was number two? Oh, number two. Number two is if you have one of these fuel saver days where it's like 25 cents off if you buy 50, or yesterday it was 12 cents off for every 20, it's good to look and buy stuff. And again, it has to be stuff that you actually want to buy. You're not just buying, on a whim to get over the benchmark. But um, it's good to buy stuff that itself an item that itself has a fuel saver deal. Like for example, sometimes they do this with yogurt. If you buy a quart of yogurt, or a, a yeah, like a plastic cup of, or a plastic container of yogurt, you sometimes they have a fuel saver deal on that where it's like 4 cents off for 32 ounces or something like that. Um, if that's something, if you buy yogurt, you can buy that and you get the 4 cents off, and you don't just get the 4 cents off, but that brings you closer to that benchmark, whatever it might be, whether it's $20 or $30 or whatever. And if it's something that you buy anyway on a regular basis, you can accumulate points faster by buying items that have that them, the items have themselves have a fuel saver promotion, whether it's 2 cents or 4 cents or 5 cents or 10 cents or 20 cents. Sometimes it is 20 cents. I've actually bought items that have a 20 cent fuel saver deal on them to get to a certain figure that was actually not very high, like maybe $20 or $30. And so, boom, what would have been a 20 cent fuel saver deal has now for me become a 50 cent fuel saver deal. And then if I buy other things if they happen to be things that I would buy, that I would buy if the fuel saver weren't a factor, uh, there have been times when I've been able to get it up to $1 or $2 per gallon in discounts, just from being smart like that and from buying stuff. And again, and I know I keep stressing it, but stuff I would have bought anyway that has fuel saver points on it, and then using that stuff to get to the benchmark where you get even more fuel saver points. So you can really maximize, and you can really kill it. You really can.
What I'd like to say with that thing I wasn't really aware of really until this is that it allows you to double dip. Because a lot of times when you go to different places and you use promotions, it's limit one per customer, only this promotion, only this coupon. You know what I mean? So it's kind of cool. I see that as a system that allows you to double dip and also allows you to really build on your promotions and your discounts.
Yes.
It's not this or that. It's this and that.
Well, that's one reason why I like the HyVee fuel saver program so much, is that in that sense they do allow you to double dip. And if you use strategy and if you are systematic and you plan ahead, you can really um, clean up. If that weren't possible, and there were more restrictions on the fuel saver system, I wouldn't be as interested in it, and I wouldn't use it as much as I do now. I really like the fact that they run things that way, and maybe in the future they won't, but for now they do, and I save a lot of money on gas because
Isn't this where you get primarily most of your groceries, HyVee?
it is. Yep, and I often this isn't necessarily a fuel saver tip; it's just kind of a general shopping tip, but it's good to buy the store brand whenever you can. Just last night, I was shopping to get the 12 cents off, and I think I actually ended up getting 24 cents off because I got up to 40. But I bought some mouthwash, and I bought the store brand of mouthwash that was the store version, the HyVee version of Listerine. And when you divide the number of ounces by the price in dollars, um, or actually, it's the other way around. The price by the ounces, I think it is. Uh, is that right? The price by ounces?
Yeah.
Yeah. You get you get the number of basically cents per ounce, and the store brand is almost always the lowest. You do want to watch out, because sometimes there will be a fuel saver promotion where if you calculate it, and one thing that you have to do is um, you have to know how big of a gas tank you have in your car. I have a 20-gallon tank, so if an item is 4 cents off per gallon, uh, I usually I take 4 times 20, and that's 80. So that's 80 cents off. And then I look at the price and see if the price is 80 cents is more than or is I look at the store brand that the fuel saver points may not be on, because usually the fuel saver points are on a name brand, and you have to check and see if the fuel saver points really make any difference or not. And sometimes they don't. Sometimes you do the math, and it turns out that you're not really saving any money at all. So you have to be careful about that. But it's all simple math. It really is. And if you have if you bring you don't even have to bring a calculator. Everybody has a calculator in their damn phone. At this point, it comes with a calculator in the phone. That's an app that just comes with the phone. So it's really not too hard, and it's actually kind of fun. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope that it was helpful, and it popularizes this money saving program.